Hi, hello, good morning, my dear viewers and my dear students. I hope everyone is good and best. Today, let me enter into the topic reported speech, which is an essential one for the school level students as well as to the college level, especially to the level of class 9 to 12. It is the most essential one topic in English grammar. And before I'm entering into the topic, just let me explain you the topic. What is reported speech? Let me divide the topic into two. One is reported, the other one is speech. First, we'll concentrate on speech. What is speech? An effective tool which make everyone to understand what is the view of me to others. So speech is an effective tool which make everyone to be connected together as one. So here reported speech. So the actual words of the speaker will carry over to the next person. Simply the actual speech, the actual words of the person will carry over, will report it to someone, will be reported to someone is called as reported speech. This is just significance about the title. So reported speech, I hope everyone would understand the meaning of the topic. Next, let me explain you what is reporting. Definition on reporting, the point which I have given you here is the act of reporting the words of speaker is called narration. The reporting of the words of a speaker in one own words is called narration. Simple. So narrating the ideas of others to someone is called as narration. Nothing but it is easy to understand. Narrating the ideas of someone, reporting the words of speaker to someone is called narration. This is called as reporting or narration. There are two ways of reporting what people say in this today's world. There are two main types of reported speech, that is direct speech and indirect speech. I already said you what is reported speech at the beginning even. Reported speech is how we represent the speech of other people and what we ourselves. The actual words of the speaker will be carrying over to the someone without changing the actual word. If the person is carrying over the message to someone is called as direct speech. Suppose if the person is changing the actual words of the speaker but the person is not changing the meaning of the words, that is called as indirect speech. Now let me enter into the differentiation of the both speeches, direct and indirect speech. First, I'll explain you detailedly what is direct speech. Direct speech repeats the exact words the person used or how we remember their words. Simple manner. The actual words of the speaker using quotation marks are called direct speech. If you want to understand it the simplest and the best way, direct speech is nothing but the actual words will be carried over to someone without the changes of the actual word. That is called as direct speech. The very beautiful example I have given you here, Barbara said, I didn't realize it was midnight. The actual words of this Barbara is given with the help of quotation mark, with the help of the quotation mark, double quoted mark I have given you here. I didn't realize it was midnight. This is the actual words of whom? Barbara. I didn't change anything. So the actual words, if it is going to be delivered to someone without changes of the actual word, if it is delivering there, that is called as direct speech. Next, let me enter into indirect speech. In indirect speech, the original speaker words are changed. This is a notable point. This is the difference between direct and indirect speech. Direct speech, whereas we will never change the actual words. Here, we will change the actual words of the person, but we will never ever change the meaning of the person's word. I hope everyone would understand. Direct speech will never change the actual words. In indirect speech, we'll change the actual word, but we'll never change the meaning of the actual word. I have given you the most beautiful example here. Barbara said she hadn't realized it was midnight. both sentences, where in the direct speech, what is the sentence I've given you? The same sentence is here, but here I have changed the word, but I haven't changed the meaning of the sentence. So this is why, and that is why this is called as direct and indirect speech. No changes in words is called as direct. Changes in words but not at all a change in meaning is called as indirect speech. I hope everyone would understand what is direct and what is indirect speech. Next, let me explain you the simple view of this topic. For first point, we use reported speech to tell someone what another person said. Already I said you simple the reported speech. So the carrying over the actual words to someone. Example, Jim says to you, I don't feel well. The sentence, the reported part which is there within the quotation mark, that is called as actual words of Jim. So there is no changes. That is why it is called as direct speech. This is a simple view of this topic. Next, let me tell you the major points of the topic, the points which are very essential for the conversion, for the transformation of this topic. Point number one, if we report something which is still true, it is not necessary to change the verb. So it is not necessary to change the verb in the sense, here, change the verb, it denotes. What does it denote? Change the verb, it denotes you should not change the tense. Suppose a thing which is being still existing and still true in the society, it cannot be changed. Suppose if anything is cannot, if anything can be changed in the society, you cannot change the tense. So change the verb it refers, change the tense. Still true. What is that still true in the society? Example, the sun rises in the east. It is a true fact and it is a universal fact. It can't be changed by anyone. It can't be changed by anyone. So universal fact. If you have any universal facts in direct speech, while you are transforming into indirect, you should not cross over the tense part. You should not change the tense there. Point number two, modal verbs could, might, would, should, had better usually do not change in reported speech. The following verb, the above mentioned, could, might, would, should, the same. The following verb, which I am going to tell you now, the word, what the verbs are, modal verbs are, could, might, would, should, ought, had better, will never have any different form while you are transforming into indirect. It will exist same as how it is being given in the direct speech. Suppose instead of could, if you find can in direct speech, while you are transforming into indirect, it must be changed into could. But suppose in direct speech, even it is given as could, you should not change could into the different form. That is the meaning of the second point. Simple, universal fact, you should not change the tense. Change the verb in the means, change the tense. Second point, could, might, would, should, had better. These modal auxiliaries, these modal verbs will never change into a different form in indirect speech while you are transforming direct into indirect. These are the major points of this topic. I hope everyone would understand what I have said. The next thing is root concept of the topic. What is this root concept? Root concept in the sense, root. What is root? The major, the basic, foundation and fundamental. So fundamental idea of this concept. Without this fundamental idea, you cannot articulate this wonderful topic direct in indirect. And what is that fundamental concept? There are basically four kinds of sentences in which we convert direct speech into indirect speech. So we have four kinds of sentences in English. How many kinds? Four kinds of sentences. We have three types of sentences and four kinds of sentences. Four kinds of sentences are assertive, interrogative, imperative, exclamatory. Each sentence, it has a different and distinctive features to be followed while you are transforming direct into indirect. What is the fundamental concept to articulate this topic? Because the fundamental concept to articulate this topic is kinds of sentence. This is to be notable, and this must be noticed while you are transforming direct to indirect. Next, it is assertive sentence. I'll explain you what is assertive. Assertive is also known as statement or declarative. Why is it named as statement and declarative? It declares something to the reader. It states something to the reader. These type of sentences will convey the news to the readers, and it ends with full stop. It ends with full stop. Simple. Assertive is also known as statement or declarative. And why it is named as statement and declarative? It states something to the reader. It states news to the reader. It gives complete news to the reader. That is why it is named as statement or declarative. And these type of sentences will end with full stop. Will end with full stop. This assertive is further divided into positive sentences and negative sentences. That is totally different. Clear? So assertive is the first kind what we are seeing now in the topic kinds of sentences. Next, let me go with the second one, interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences, it starts with WH question. Not only starts with WH question, but also starts with rhetoric type of question. What is that rhetoric type of question? Most probably everyone has a doubt now. So a rhetoric type of questions in the sense, the question which starts from the auxiliary verb. The question which starts from the auxiliary verb, as well as if you have a rhetoric type of question, you should have answer only in the way yes or no. Suppose if you are instructed to answer only yes or no, those type of questions is absolutely rhetoric type of questions. Example, do you have a pen? You should say only yes or no. So this is your answer. So if a question is making you to deliver an answer yes or no, that is rhetoric type of question. WH question, most probably it will start from the help of WH question words. We will all know about what is WH questions. WH questions will have so 11 or 12 WH questions in English. What, why, who, whom, and so etc. Clear? So that is WH question, rhetoric type of question. So interrogative sentences, it not only starts with WH question but also starts with the rhetoric type of question, ends with the question mark. Difference between WH question and rhetoric type of question: WH question, it will be a descriptive answer. You need to go with the descriptive answer. It will start from a WH question word, whereas rhetoric type of question, you need to start from auxiliary verb. You need to start from a auxiliary verb. That is the difference between that is the difference between WH question and rhetoric type of question. Next one, imperative. Imperative sentences. Imperative sentences, it consists order, command, suggestion, and advice and request. So what would be the difference between order and command? So order is the aspect, it is not an immediate action which will never take place at the same time. Example, doctor will be ordering to the patient, teacher may be ordering to the student, father may be ordering to the son or daughter, but those orders will never take place immediately. For example, teacher is informing to all students are ordered to complete the homework tomorrow. That is the sentence. So depends upon the students. It depends upon the student. Depends upon the student whether he will complete or not. That depends upon the mindset of the student. So immediate action is order, The order in the sense it is not an immediate action. Command is the immediate action. Command will take place only in the place of army field and police and all those things. Suggestion and advice, it is easy to understand. Suggestion, it has a different track, and advice is a different track. Request will have a keywords please and so many things, and request is requesting to someone is called as request. Imperative is nothing, it consists order, command, suggestion, advice and request. Next, let me enter into exclamatory. Exclamatory, these type of sentences will consist strong feeling and emotions. What are the strong feelings and emotions? Strong feelings, surprise, overexcitement, sorrowness, sadness, all those things will come in strong feelings and emotion. And it will have an exclamatory word. What are the exclamatory words in English? Exclamatory words are what, wow, how, ha, so many things. And it will have a exclamation mark. This is called as exclamatory. Before I am going to wind up these four kinds, let me revise you what are the four kinds. Assertive, interrogative, imperative, exclamatory. Assertive is nothing but it gives complete news to the reader and ends with a full stop. Interrogative, it is not only starts with double H question but also starts with a rhetoric type of question and ends with the question mark. Imperative, it consists order, request, command, suggestion and advice. And I told you the very beautiful example for order and command. I hope everyone would understand that. An exclamatory, it consists of feelings and emotion. It will have exclamatory word and it will have a exclamation mark. This is the fundamental concept to articulate this topic. So without these four kinds, you cannot convert a sentence direct into indirect. Without knowing about this concept, without knowing about these aspects, without identifying the kinds, you cannot apply the rules into the topic. Clear? Next, the essential view. Why I have been talking about these four kinds since the class has started is, first point, each kind of sentences has distinguished rules and conventions for the transformation. We are talking about this one. We have been talking about this one for the transformation. So each kind of sentence, it has a distinguished rules and conventions to be followed while you are transforming direct to indirect. Example, if you find assertive sentence, you need to follow the rules and regulations of assertive for the transformation. It will have a different conjunction, it will have a different reporting verb, all those will come. If you find interrogative, if you are identifying indirect speech interrogative, you will find all those things. And the next one, certain rules must be followed according to the kinds. Certain rules must be followed according to the kinds in the sense. You need to follow the certain rules while you're transforming direct to indirect. Already I said, if you find assertive, if you identify assertive sentence here, if you find assertive sentence in direct, you need to follow the assertive rules alone to articulate the sentence. The third point, this is the most essential aspect to be followed for conversion. So which is the most essential aspect? Four kinds of sentences, and it rules is the most essential aspect to be followed for conversion. Conversion in the sense transformation. Next one, rules of the topic. What are the rules of this topic? So the first one is tends to be changed. Second one is reporting verb to be changed, and the third one is pronouns must be concentrated, and the fourth one is kinds to be noticed properly, and the fifth one is conjunction to be added, and the sixth one is nearness words will become a distance words, and seventh one is modals to be changed. Tense to be changed, you know, we will have three tenses, present, past, future, and it is further divided into 4, then totally we'll have 12 tenses in English. I hope everyone knows what are the 12 tenses in English. Let me repeat it. Simple present, present continuous, present perfect continuous, simple past, past continuous, past perfect continuous, simple future, future continuous, future perfect continuous. The tense changes also there in this topic. Next, reporting verb is totally different. Reporting verb, example, say, says, tell, said to, told, all those things are called as reporting verb. That to be changed. While you are seeing said to in direct, while you are transforming into indirect, it must be changed as told. That is to be carried over. And the third point, Pronouns must be concentrated according to, for example, if you see masculine, what is the pronoun for masculine? You need to apply it. That is, pronouns must be concentrated. And the fourth one kinds to be noticed. This is the very, very important aspect which is to be noticed by you people before the transformation. What is that kinds to be noticed properly? So before, unless until, if you are not identifying the kind, you will never identify the exact answer for the question which you are going to receive at the time of examination or whatever it may be. Clear? So kinds to be noticed. You need to identify what kind of sentence has employed in direct speech. After identifying it only, you ought to follow the rules of that particular kind and you will find the exact solution for that question. That is kinds to be noticed properly. And conjunction to be added. So we'll have three type of conjunctions. You know what is conjunctions? Connectors and but, though, although, even though, all those things. Nearness words will distance. For example, here is a nearness word. It will become as there while you're transforming direct into indirect. Modals to be changed, it is easy. Can will be changed as could. Shall will become should. May will become might. These type of changes will take place, and it is very, very important. These the above mentioned rules are very, very important for the transformation direct into indirect. Next, tense. So this is tense changes. If you find simple present in direct, you need to transform that simple present into simple past in indirect speech. So if you are identifying simple present in direct speech while you are transforming direct to indirect, the simple present must be transformed into simple past. The same way, present continuous must be transformed into past continuous. Present perfect must be concentrated and must be transformed into past perfect. Present perfect continuous must be transformed into past perfect continuous. And simple past to be converted into past perfect. Past continuous to be converted into past perfect continuous. Past perfect, there is no changes, it will be again converted into past perfect. Past perfect continuous also the same, there is no changes in tense. Past perfect continuous, if you are seeing into direct speech while you're transforming into indirect speech, the same tense will be existing in the indirect. That is the difference. So simple present to simple past, present continuous into past continuous, present perfect to past perfect, present perfect continuous into past perfect continuous, simple past to past perfect, into past perfect continuous, past perfect when there is no changes, as well as past perfect continuous also the same while you're transforming into indirect, same past perfect continuous will repeat. Next one, the others will become a distance. I said is, so here will become there, now will become there, this will become that, these will become those, today will become that day, tonight will become that night, yesterday will become the previous day, last night will become a previous night, last week will become the previous week, tomorrow will become the following day, next week will become the following week, ago will become before, that will become so, hence will become tense. The next one, modals. Already I said modals to be changed. Can will become could while you're transforming direct into indirect. Will become would while you're transforming direct to indirect. May will become might while you're transforming direct to indirect. Shall will become should while you're transforming direct to indirect. Must will become had to or must while you're transforming direct to indirect. But if you see could in direct speech, you should not change while you're transforming into indirect could as can. So could will be repeated again as could in indirect speech also. That is very, very important. At the beginning even I said these are the major points which to be carry over, which to be concentrated mostly in the best way to articulate this topic. Next, difference between reporting verb and reported part. The point which I have given you here is speech reports consist of two parts, the reporting verb and the reported part. The reporting class in the sense reporting verb, nothing but reporting class is reporting verb. What is the reporting class? Reporting class is nothing, it is reporting verb. Reporting verb is also known as reporting class. So reporting class includes a verb such as say, tell, ask, replay, shout, usually in the past simple. And the reported class includes what the original speaker said. Example, Ram said to Aditya. The said to is a reporting verb, because this reporting verb, it is reporting something to the speaker, so that is why it is named as reporting verb. The verb which is placed between of the speaker and listener, the word which is placed between of the speaker and listener is reporting verb. So after the speaker and listener, within the quotation mark, if you are seeing the sentence, that is called as reported part. It is also known as reported class. Could you understand? So reporting class is also known as reporting verb. Reported part is also known as reported class. The next one, steps to be followed. So the last and final aspect, introduction and rules, and we are going to complete this rules class. So steps to be followed while you are transforming direct to indirect. First step, identification. What is an identification? After receiving a question, just identify what is the kind of sentence as placed, because after identifying the kind alone, you will be able to apply the rules and regulations according to the particular kind which is given in the question paper, or which is given in your exam times and all those times. Clear? So step one, first one, you need to identify the kind of sentence. Second one, after identifying, first duty is, first duty I said identification. Second duty, you need to go over remove the inverted commas. While you are transforming direct to indirect, you need to remove the inverted commas. Indirect to add the inverted commas. Clear? So direct to indirect, the second application is you need to remove the inverted comma. And the third application for you, for while you're transforming direct into indirect, change the reporting verb. So reporting verb I said already, the verb which is placed between the speaker and the listener is, that is reporting verb. Example, said to. If you find said to in assertive sentence, it must be changed as told while you're transforming direct to indirect, that is change the reporting verb. And the step 4, add conjunctions. According to each kind of sentence, we'll have a separate conjunction, so that is to be carried over. So conjunction must be added while you're transforming direct to indirect. And the step 5, change the tense. Already I said you find simple present in direct is must be transformed as simple past in the indirect speech. That is change the tense. Step 5 is change the tense. Step 6, change the pronoun. According to masculine and feminine, you need to go with the pronoun. Step 7, if it is necessary in a sentence, you go with this. So step 7 is nearness will become distance word. Once again I'll repeat, step 1 is identification, is very essential. Without this you cannot articulate the sentence. Step 2, remove the inverted commas. Next your application is you need to change the reporting verb, and the next your application is you need to add the conjunction, and next application is change the tense, next application is change the pronoun, and the next one, if it requires, you just apply it in your sentence. Nearness will become a distance. I hope everyone would understand the fundamental concept of reported speech and what is reported speech, what are the rules to be followed, and what are the steps to be followed while you are transforming direct into indirect. Just go through it very clearly, then it is easy for you people to understand, and it is easy for you people to transform the sentence direct into indirect. Thank you so much all the best.